to the bottom. Here comes Gisette. They make contact. They touch once, twice, 3 times.
Foul trouble. Oh, no, Rocky into the wall. Big crash front straightaway. Huge crash coming into the tri-oval. No, Rocky up and into the air.
They're beating and banging. Burn on the bottom. Cosman up top.
Kaufman, I think. No. Breyer by 1/1000th of a second. Joseph, no! At the line, Thunhorse pulls the win out at the stripe!
Oh, he saves it! What's going to happen here?
Here comes McCandless! Get your foot there! He got it! He's got it! He's got it! McCandless is going to win!
Core, presented by SimRapMarket.com, welcomes you to the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway in Miami, Florida for the Slideways 200. 2 more 50-lap races on the docket tonight here from Homestead, as technically races 3 and 4, round number 2, set to get underway. Jacob Hitz, Caleb Hoffman here with you. Glad to have you along for the ride as we get set to go. First 50-lap race is just moments away. Cars are gridding right now as we speak, and we'll save the analysis. We'll jump right into the starting grid. And the Pole Award. Team Rick is the proud sponsor of the Rick Pole Award, given to what will be the lowest driver in the point standings at each Core League event. This week, it's Rusty Walrus. He finished last at Daytona, and therefore, he's at the bottom of the barrel. That's where he starts today. Since 2022, Team Rick has awarded less than $0 as part of Core's Pole Award program. Starting grid, the rest of the starting grid is brought to you by Ed Soundhead. Jordan Ward starting on the outside, and this is inverse order from the final results from Daytona a week ago. Brayton Laster, Corey Vervinkt in row number 2, Blake McCandless and Fly Guy in row number 3. Then you've got Gabe Wood and Arrow in row 4. Frozen Toast 24, Cody Yates Gaming rounding out the top 10, Caleb.
Looking back on to row number 6, Case Kallenbach will start alongside Jonathan Cadell, starting 13th. Wes Graham and Sean Butler going back. Cisco Scaramuza and Dale Reynolds start alongside each other. Then Cosmin Ionescu and Landon Huffman in row number 9. Rounding out your top 20 is going to be David Shieldhouse starting 19th and Justin Melillo.
The rest of the field, 29 cars going. Travis Brown, Ryan Burton drive-through, Harry Tiller, Ian Plash, Michael P. Frisch, last week's winner, Champagne Racing, and Davey Davis making his series debut. He did not race a week ago. That's why he is starting at the tail end of the field, because he has no starts on the season. Field coming through 3 and 4. A couple notables again not here tonight. Brian LaPrade is one. Michael Cozy Jr. is another. No Ryan Vargas. We knew about him, knew that he wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. I think that really takes care of all the heavy hitters that we would expect usually here in Core. 50 laps up on the board here in race number 1. Rusty and Jordan Worth bring us down. Green flag, we're racing from Homestead. And that's the fun of Core, having the fast guy starting in the back and the slower guy starting up front. 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Blake McCandless from 5th. Round the outside. He takes the lead away to turn 2.
Yeah, watch Rusty right here. I mean, he almost made contact with Jordan Worth, almost made contact with Gabe Wood right there as well. I know he was struggling a little bit in practice, so just trying to get the car underneath him. But yeah, Blake McCandless had a great move to go all the way up against the wall in turns 3 and 4 and get around the side-by-side cars of Jordan Worth and Rusty Walrus, and he's going to take command of this race now.
2 laps, and Rusty's already dropped out of the top 10. They are 5 wide on the front straightaway. Here comes Champagne. Kallenbach in the middle. You've got the 75. That's Landon Huffman in there. Blake McCandless. Fly Guy stuck on the outside, and I've never seen him go 5 wide here at Homestead until tonight.
Well, yeah, they went 4 or 5 wide a few times last week at Daytona, so not uncharted territory for these drivers. Rusty's still
and
far
Rusty.
back.
Oh, man, Rusty washed up, almost got into Davy Davis. They keep it straight in the back of the field. All McCandless out in front. Jordan Worth second, Brayton Laster, and Sean Butler side by side for third for the time being. Sean's going to take that spot away. He started 14th. He's still not the biggest mover. That's Travis Brown, up 14 spots from 22nd to 8th.
And honestly, I'm really surprised right now between Blake McCandless and Sean Butler, both running the very high line of this racetrack. I mean, you know, Homestead, it's the track you think of where you rip the top, but in practice, we didn't see much of riding the top. It was mostly on the bottom trying to save tires, that kind of thing. So really interested by Blake's strategy here.
And maybe he thinks, you know, we're going to see an early caution, but so far we have stayed green through 4.5 laps as the field rockets down the back straightaway. Still Blake out in front. He's got a half-second lead, over a half-second lead over Jordan Worth. Another half-second back to Sean Butler, another half-second back or so to Gabe Wood. And that's when you've got Harry Tiller saving it up against the wall. He, just drove it in too deep, plain and simple. Fenced it coming off in the middle of 3 and 4, but is able to get it rolling. But he loses a ton of time, and that's the risk reward of being up on the high side. You go up there too far, you're on the wall, and it is very hard to get off the wall here at Homestead with these cars.
Absolutely. Looking right now here at Travis, going to slide just in front of Arrow and be able to complete that. And looking back, I'm really surprised actually at how they're starting to fan out. I mean, I was expecting them to kind of try to run in a single file line for a little bit, get organized, but they have not been afraid to fan out 2 wide, 3 wide, as you stated earlier, even 4 and 5 wide.
All over the place in the opening 10 laps. Blake McCandless continues to lead. There's the first battle on the racetrack. Travis Brown and Gabe Wood going at it. That is for 4th. Travis up 17 spots since the drop of the green flag. Fresh is now up 18. He's in the 9th spot, starting back in 27th. He had a couple of good finishes last week at Daytona.
And I mean, looking at these lap times, as you kind of go back through the pack, you can really see how driving in traffic is hurting your lap times. These guys out front are running, you know, the mid 33s, and then you look back at even some of the really fast guys in practice who started in the back. I mean, looking at guys like Landon Huffman working his way through the field, he's yet to take a lap that's sub 33 seconds.
You see this gaggle of cars here. This is from about 8th on back, starting with Fresh, and then you see them really fan out back here. That's Cisco in the 85. Brayton Laster up by the wall. He started 3rd. He has dropped like a rock. He's already outside the top 20, losing 18 spots. Still not the biggest loser so far, but up there as far as positions dropped since the green flag.
And right now, I still have my eye on Landon Huffman. He's just been methodically kind of marching through here. He's to the back of Ian Plash, and he's one of these guys that hasn't been afraid of going up right next to the wall and trying to advance position up there. And you're starting to see as we get through this run about 10 laps in, how it is starting to affect his tires compared to a lot of these other guys who have been staying on the bottom.
Here they come into 3, and we're already about 1/5 of the way through this opening race. As everybody starting to really sort themselves out. A lot of separation toward the front of the field. It's still back here from 10th on back, where you have this gaggle of cars that are just stuck together, accordion together, led by Cody. Cosman is right behind him. That's 9th and 10th. And you got drive-through, Wes Graham, Jonathan Cadell up here. Cadell and Graham going at it for 12th. Well, further back, some more tight stuff back here. Ian Plash, Frozen Toes, and Landon Huffman in the thick of that. And Landon, very little practice time. He joined in right at the last second, right at 9 o'clock is when he finally hopped into the session. He was registered for a little bit, then finally made his way in, and he's pretty much rolling dark here to start from Homestead.
I had a close call in turn 2 that last time with drive-through. He was going underneath 3 wide, trying to go underneath Cosman and Cody. The car slipped out from under him, and he almost smacked the wall. Lost a bit of time, but as you can see right now, I've made it back up, back to the inside of Cody H Gaming, and now he's going to complete that pass and break back into the top 10.
Trying to do as best as he can. He'll crack the top 10 there, getting by Cody as he continues to slip by. He got the wall, and he's crashing. He's almost upside down. Frozen gets turned around to the inside wall. Davey Davis slides the tires, and we're under caution as Cody pops the fence coming off turn number 2, and it was Landon Huffman, the first car that hit him, and that's simply just a deal where they can't get out of the way fast enough of the 28 stopped up against the wall.
And a tough season so far for Cody continues as he was involved in quite a few accidents last week at Daytona, and gonna bring out the first one here. You see it right here, this main battle I was talking about. Just gets into the wall, and Landon was just right behind him, tried to swerve down low, but made contact, got that car up in the air with the low noses on these ARCA cars.
Yeah, baby just got loose on him and couldn't hold on. You can see it right in the middle of the corner. So we ride on board. This is further back in the field. And you'll see exactly what the driver saw sitting up on the outside line. This is on board with Davey Davis. And you can just nowhere to go. And he gets in the back of Frozen and then hits the 28 spinning around like a top up on the outside. So that's our first caution. Pit road is open. Everybody is coming to pit road here. Little surprised, Caleb, to see them coming to pit road this early on. But then again, it's only a 50-lap race. We're already a fifth of the way through. You might as well come on to pit road and get some tires.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say with the, it's only 50 laps, as you said. So coming on, trying to just bank on a caution maybe happening again, wanting to work your way up through the short term. Landon Huffman, to continue on after that accident, Ian Plash actually made some contact with him as they were getting onto pit road right before the commitment cone and got into the back end of that car. Doesn't look like there's any major damage on it, but a close call for sure for that 75 machine.
Nobody using a fast repair under this caution, even though there were a couple that got damaged. Dale Reynolds has a little bit of damage that he fixed up on his pit stop. Frozen Toes got her damage all taken care of. Cody is still in the box taking care of that race car. There you see the 28. And they will be choosing next time by. The choose cone, new decor this year. And the choose line, the choose zone, the chone, whatever you want to call it. That's over here, right at the end of the front straightaway. Watch that inside line. So it's next time by. But again, it is right there. That's the choose line. The start of the white line on the bottom of the racetrack there at turn number 1. They've extended the caution flag, so we will go another lap. And Caleb, why don't we find somebody to talk to here under this caution?
Absolutely. Let's try. He's in here. He is. All right. I want to talk with our race leader, Blake McCandless. How you doing?
Hey, how are we doing?
We're doing great up here in the booth. Just wanted to talk to you for a minute. Crazy move that you had early on in this race, taking it 3 wide, ripping the top. Was kind of surprising considering everybody was running the bottom in practice. What are you feeling out of your car right now?
Well, you know, I just ran the top in practice to see if it was viable, and I think it is. I think you can be really consistent as long as you don't put the right rear on the fence, which is a problem in this car with how skewed it is. So Jordan, I think, was going to run me down there, so I think for about 10 or 15 laps, the top is really, really good, and then it kind of eats your tires. But, yeah, this underdog fantasy Dodge Charger is hooked up there on the top side, and I don't know if we'll be ripping it anymore, though, because might be close on fuel here on this run. So we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, we're 20 laps through it. What's your strategy for keeping this thing up here?
I mean, it depends if we're going to go all out and then try to split this run in half, or if, we can.
Oh, trouble! Dale Reynolds is around. Rusty spins as well, but it was Dale that got turned.
Oh, no.
Not sure why Dale was given. Dale never got turned.
Wow.
Never mind. He spun trying to avoid the cars stopping in front of him.
That's
Ryan
crazy,
Burton,
bro.
Corey Vervink were trying to make up their mind, and Dale had nowhere to go. But, well, some things never change, Blake. Sorry for interrupting you yet again. But go get him here on this restart. Best of luck.
All right, everybody, make sure you sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Mr. F4 Speed will get your first $100 matched.
Blake McCandless, currently your race leader here at Homestead, and he will lead us to the green flag. He picked the outside. Jordan Worth picked the inside. Everybody on 4 fresh tires, filled up back with fuel. 17 laps complete, this time by. Stacks them up into the restart zone. Green flag, we're back racing in the Slideways 200. Race number 1 of
really
2
stacked up.
on
We
the
got Brayton
night.
Laster around.
Still green, I don't know why. 3 cars are stopped on the front straightaway. Malillo is 1, Fly Guy is 1. There is still no caution. 2 cars are still parked on the front straightaway. There is still no caution. And now Travis gets turned. Shieldhouse into the air. Fresh is around. There's your caution. Another one around. That's Ian Plash. Chaos on the back straightaway.
Yeah, that whole restart was something. We had that incident. Malillo was in it. Brayton Laster got turned around. There was a huge stack up in the back. And then after that, with everybody kind of together, I mean, that's bound to happen on the backstretch at a track like Homestead.
Yeah, by rule, that deal should have been a caution, but we get one instead anyway on the front straightaway. So let's go back a lap. Here's the restart. It's back here with Malillo, Fly Guy. I'm really curious to see how this. They all just check up, and Rusty gets hit. He comes down, collects. Fly Guy nowhere to go. Malillo involved in that. I think Brayton Laster got a piece of it here. I think he's the one that Rusty hits. Right there. Hits him down into Malillo. And look, by rule, that's a caution. But we kept it rolling. And let's take a look here. This is down the back straightaway here with Shieldhouse. And he said he was trying to give Travis a bump draft down the back straightaway, and he said that's the lightest bump I've given tonight, and it did that.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's kind of in a different way what we saw with that first caution as well, with how low the nose is, just picking that car up. We saw it with Cody H Gaming on that first caution. It happens again. So.
Well, and I talked with David, but to get his side of the story, but he is not in the Discord right now. Anyway, we're going to go to break here. 19 laps are complete. Jordan Worth, currently your race leader. We're back after this here on FTF.GG. True TNT style. We're back barely just in time for the restart. Jordan Worth, Sean Butler on the front row. Blake McCandless and a couple of others pitted under that last caution. That's why they're no longer at the front. We were only under caution there for a few laps. Green flag back in the air. Worth will lead them to turn number 1. Butler and Cosman side by side for P number 2. Travis Brown still sitting in the 4th spot. They're 3 wide further back. Wes Graham in the middle. You got Landon Huffman on the outside. Harry Tiller downstairs.
And Jordan Worth, again with a good jump on this restart. Sean Butler still trying to chase him down. And these front 5 are doing more of what I expected them to. And as I say that, Landon Huffman going to try to break his way into the top 5, trying to go underneath drive-through. Harry Tiller behind him as well.
Here comes that 75 down on the bottom. Got a lot of speed as they're 3 wide further back, tightly packed, and they almost wrecked it. They're good. That's Rusty, Ian Plash back here. Some guys like Schoenhaus and Frisch are trying to fight their way through all this traffic to get back to the front. I think at this point we're seeing guys run the bottom because they can make it to the end on fuel, I think, at this point in the going. So that's why they know they're not going to have to stop. So they might as well save some tires to do so. Look out. Here comes Huffman 3 wide.
Yeah, this has been the best battle on track as Huffman's actually going to make contact with Travis. I saw that in turn 3. That car is just not wanting to stick on the bottom. It always slides up. Maybe seeing it once again here. But yeah, when they were 3 wide and he was on the bottom, that car was not enjoying where it was. They start to single file back out. Travis, though, going to go back to the inside of Landon Huffman now. Those 2 teammates side by side for the 5th position.
Still the duct tape numbers on the side and top of that 01 machine. As he gets a little loose down on the bottom, holds on to it as they make their way down the backstretch.
Yeah,
halfway
nice.
this time.
Huffman back to the inside of drive-through. Drive-through was able to stave him off last time. I don't think that's going to be the case now, as he's going to be able to get clear, and that's going to open the door for his teammate Travis Brown. And those 2 looking to enter the top 5 now. Drive-through going to back off. And now that will cement those 2 in 4th and 5th.
Oh, is he clear? No. He tried to slide up in front of him, but if he did that, he would have gotten wrecked.
And look at right behind them, Wes Graham has now entered the conversation here. He's going to get underneath drive-through. Harry Tiller as well. This 77, he let 1 car by and Landon Huffman, and now 4 by him. He might be looking outside of the top 10 here soon, as he has the new points leader, Justin Champagne, behind this group as well.
Nice battles back here in the middle of this pack as the front starts to get strung out once again like they were at the very beginning of the night. Here comes Harry Tiller battling Wes Graham. This is for 6th and 7th.
Looking back still. And again, this is what the last run, what I was kind of talking about, is what I was expecting. That first run we had, it was guys routinely being double wide, 3 wide. Now you're starting to see these guys calm down and decide the occasional battle for position, which is largely what we're accustomed to here. You see on board Cisco.
Again, I think that's because before they couldn't make it on fuel. Now they can, so they're just trying to take it easy a little bit, save those tires for later on in the run. We're past the halfway point here in race number 1. One more 50-lap race coming up here. And, of course, the results from this race will be inverted, and that's your grid for race number 2. Jordan Worth out in front looking for his first core win in just his second true start. New to the series this season. And he's putting on a good show up here in that 37. Clean Air helping him out.
Absolutely. Looking through still, Jordan Worth still has a commanding gap to Sean Butler behind him. Landon Huffman and Travis Brown, I mean, they were both kind of on a roll, making their way up, but now they've started to battling each other, which is kind of counterintuitive for him. I think Cosman's been able to just watch these battles happen in his rearview mirror. It's probably has the most entertaining rearview in the field right now. These two have been nonstop battling back and forth.
And a couple of good battles behind them as well with Wes Graham, Harry Tiller, Blake McCandless, and Drive-Thru going at it right now. Drive-Thru falling back a little bit more as McCandless is starting to make his way toward the front. He goes to the outside of Tiller here off the corner. So go back to turn number 1, and Travis is still working on that 75. He desperately wants to get by his boss man and Landon Huffman, but just hasn't been able to seal the deal.
Oh, and Wes Graham shut the door on Blake McCandless there. That was a very risky move, but it paid off for Wes Graham. Is now Blake McCandless going to try once more on the outside here. We'll see if he can slide up again like he did last time, and I don't think so. That'll open the door now for Blake McCandless to start work on Travis Brown ahead of him and try to break into the top 5.
Well, Wes apologized for sliding up there. I don't think he quite wanted to cut the nose off the way he did. So gave him the spot that time, and it all works out. But that 71 is a flying, a 34.2 that last time by, faster than everybody in front of him, other than your race leader in Jordan Worth. And here he goes to the inside now. Underneath Huffman, got by Travis. Not going to find the same luck to get by the 75. He's going to have to go to the outside, I think. So right on board.
I mean, that car has been happiest on the top, and you see it once again here. Just being able to ride that momentum off exit has really been the 71 strong suit. That's why he's so comfortable riding the top side. So once he had that momentum, went to the bottom lane, it kind of staved off his momentum. As you see it once again here, going to the inside, he's going to take the bottom in the corner. Going to be clear now of Landon Huffman for the 4th position, and now going to work up towards Cosmin Ionescu for the 3rd position.
And he's got a little bit of ways to get there, but he is coming. As we're inside, 20 to go. 17 laps to go when they hit the stripe there. Jordan Worth out in front by a half second over Sean Butler. Cosman's 3/10 back behind Sean. Then a half second back from him is McCandless. And that's where you see this conga line of cars with Travis, Huffman, Tiller, Graham. They're battling with Drive-Thru right now. Champagne, that's your top 10. And then you got Frisch and Schildhouse, who are battling for 11th. Two fast guys trying to dig themselves out of a hole after the accident.
Arrow actually just tagged the wall. He was top 3 wide, and out of turn number 4, got it just a bit. He was able to keep it going. And right now, Frisch and Schildhouse make more contact. They've been battling back and forth here, and they're starting to beat and bang just a little bit. Frisch going to let off, though. Going to dive in on Justin Champagne. Big move from Michael P. Frisch right there. Trying to keep it underneath Champagne. That was risky.
Well, and Frisch said, look, I'm on the white line. Where else do you want me to go? Down on the bottom of the racetrack, and that thing got loose on him there in 3 and 4. He sends it in really deep on Schildhouse. Here into turn number 1, he's determined to take this 11th spot away. Let's see if he gets any grip here off the corner. That's allowed Gabe Wood to close in. And he's not going to be able to slide up to the outside.
And this is what Core is really all about, is Champagne made contact with the outside wall there, but just good, hard, fun racing between those two. Champagne still not able to keep it out of the wall. Looks like he should be okay now, but he's going to lose a ton of positions.
Yeah, he's done that a couple times tonight, getting too close to that wall, and especially on entry. Getting up and fencing that thing. And here comes Frisch now up on the outside, trying to get alongside Wes Graham. He's going to get loose. Holds onto it up there, and now he's going to drop to the bottom. See what the inside can do here in 3 and 4.
Similar to what we saw from Blake McCandless there for a while. The only difference is I don't think that 58 is handling as well on the bottom as Blake McCandless was. Drive-Thru going to give him plenty
Travis.
of room. Yeah, Travis.
He's pitting
on a pit road
with 14 laps to go. Coming to 13 to go. Travis Brown enters pit road.
Oh, Landon Huffman just made contact with Michael P. Frisch. I don't know what that was. Huffman clogging up the bottom, but Michael P. Frisch just drove into the back of him. That's going to allow Drive-Thru and Wes Graham to get by. I think Landon Huffman might be trying to make his way down to pit road as well now.
Huffman sent it on down to the bottom, and Frisch just drove it in too deep and got into the back of the 75. That was the deal there. Here comes Harry Tiller. He's pitting this time. So obviously they cannot make it to the end on fuel. Arrow's going to do the same thing here. So they could not make it to the end on fuel. which is why we're seeing them stop now. And the question now, Caleb, has to be, is it worth doing the undercut? You see Cisco on pit road now as well. Is it worth pitting early like Travis, or is it more beneficial to pit a little bit earlier? Travis took 4 tires on his stop. Looks like Harry Tiller's going to do the same. No 2-tire calls.
Yeah, no, it's so difficult because you got to try to anticipate any potential cautions that might come out of it.
Oh, here comes Landon and Arrow.
Oh, and Arrow.
We're good.
I mean, I think you would probably want to pit earlier just in hopes that maybe you could get a caution, but also, even if there's not a caution, for you to be able to warm your tires up and just start hot lapping it while everybody else comes down and pits. I really like the move from Travis's camp. We'll see how it pays off.
For the most part, everybody out in front choosing to stay out for at least one more lap. Here comes Ryan Burton in the 91. He comes onto pit road. Everybody else staying on the racetrack for at least one more lap, as we're now at 10 laps to go here from Homestead. And you got to wonder here if anybody at the front is trying to save fuel, like Sean Butler, as here comes McCandless flying by. He drops to the inside. He takes over second. He'll stay out for another lap, as will everybody behind him for the most part here.
Yeah, I have my eye right now on Landon Huffman because he just came off the pit road, rejoined with this group of cars, and I mean, you can see the tire difference. He's just able to drive away from these guys in the middle of the corner, and I'm wondering if maybe anybody in this group sees that and changes their mind, maybe opts to go for 4 freshies. But you can't wait too long either, because then there's going to be no point of pitting, and it's just basically giving up track position towards the end of this run here.
Nice battle for third between Sean and Cosman.
Look at Travis.
Travis going up the middle back here, 3 wide with Wes Graham and the 24 of Goen. We have not talked at all about him tonight, but there he is, hiding around inside the top 10. Update on Davey Davis for you. Davey Davis sits right now in the 18th position in that 305. Now you see him coming off turn number 2. He's about a second behind Fly Guy, the next car for a position in front of him. He's 4.5 ahead of the next car behind him in Corey Vervinkt. Look at this gaggle. I mean, look out. Gabe Wood in that mix. Dale Reynolds, the 924 Ian Plash, Ryan Burton, who just came off pit road. So the 91 on fresher tires.
Yeah, this whole pack is just lots of fun to watch. Just running everywhere. You can see Dale Reynolds now thinking about trying that outside. Didn't fully commit to it though. Now going to try to move up to that top lane. Gets a little loose in that decision. That opens the door now for Frozen Toes. She's going to be on the inside. Arrow was thinking about going to the bottom, but does not.
Find it interesting at the front of the field here. Everybody is running that inside line except for McCandless, as Arrow thought he was clear and he wasn't and made some contact. McCandless now actually losing a bit of time to Jordan Worth as we're coming to 5 to go here this time by.
And you can see Huffman now, the lap car, trying to get his lap back on the outside there, and it looks like he will. And Blake, now that these tires have run off, I mean, Jordan Worth was just able to build up enough of a gap to where I think he'll just be safe enough to drive away with it here. Even if he clutches trying to save fuel.
For the folks that thought pitting would be the way to go, I'm not so sure about that here, because you're running out of time. You're not getting a caution. And we're at 4 laps to go, and the folks out in front have not stopped and apparently don't plan on stopping anytime here soon. So I think at this point, if you've pitted, you've learned for the next race here. If we get a similar caution pattern, that maybe it's best just to stay out there, unless maybe you can get lucky and a caution were to come out. But I mean, At this point, you've already pitted. Davey Davis is on pit road right now. Fuel only for him. Here comes Jordan, though. So they cannot make it on fuel. 3 to go. This is like Iowa.
That's exactly the comparison I was about to make. Is now the race is in Blake McCandless's hands, and if he's able to stretch this fuel enough, it's 3 laps, and it doesn't feel that much, but I mean, if you run out, this next time by, you're not going to make it to the end here. So I'm really interested to see if Blake is just going to clutch it and call it a day. But also, you got to keep in mind, Cosman and Sean behind him, they're right in striking distance in case anything happens to Blake.
Well, knowing Blake, he's going to try and make it all the way. Remember, he pitted 5 laps sooner than the guys behind him. We are at, right now, 2 laps to go here from Homestead. Blake McCandless is 3/10 slower than the 2 vehicles behind him. And Cosman and Sean down the back straightaway, coming to the last lap. Coming to the white flag here in race number 1. Does Blake have enough fuel to make it the 1.5 miles? And Cosman's right there. Here they come through 3 and 4. And this is going to be a good one here on this last lap. Off turn 4. White flag in the wind. The top 5 all within a second. Last lap.
Blake McCandless, I mean, he did have the car to beat earlier. He's going to go to the high side. Car is just super loose. Cosman sliding up. Blake's just going to get the better run off the corner here. It's going to take something crazy from Cosman, I think, into turns number 3 and 4 if he's able to dive bomb maybe.
Here comes Blake on the outside. Cosman drove it in really deep. He's on the bottom. He's even with him coming up off the corner. Let's see if Blake can use that momentum on the high side. He can. Blake McCandless has enough fuel and wins race 1 at Homestead.
And that was such a fun battle there between Blake and Cosman. You saw Cosman dive bomb it and try to do it, but in the end, it was Blake and his high line that he liked in practice proves to be viable. And Blake McCandless gets the win here in race 1 at Homestead.
Sean Butler just ran out of fuel. I think David Schulhouse just ran out. Cody H Gaming has run out of fuel. He has not crossed the finish line yet, and I don't think he's going to. So Davey Davis finishes last. He will be your pole sitter for race number 2 because he finished last here in this race. And Blake McCandless, winner of race 1, he gets to start P29 in race number 2. And we'll talk with our winner here in just a moment. As Blake burns down the house, we'll run through our finishing results. Blake McCandless, your winner. Cosman Issue in second. Sean Butler finishes third. David Schildhouse fourth. Michael P. Frisch finishes fifth. And going, Gabe Wood, Jonathan Cadell, Dale Reynolds, Justin Champagne rounding out your top 10, Caleb.
Looking on to 11th, Ian Plash and Justin Malillo come home in 11th and 12th. Fly Guy in 13th, Drive Through 14th. Rusty Walrus comes home in the 15th position after starting on the pole. Case Kallenbach in 16th. Brayton Laster in 17th, Corey Vervinkt in 18th, Landon Huffman comes home 19th, Travis Brown rounds out your top 20.
And the rest you see, Harry Tiller, Wes Graham, Cody Hicken, Jordan Worth, then Ryan Burton, Arrow, Cisco, Scaramuza, Frozen Toes, Davey Davis. Everybody outside the top 18, with the exception of Cody, pitted within the last 12 laps in trying to make it the distance on fuel. So in the meantime here, we'll shift over. We'll talk with our race winner, Blake McCandless. Wherever he is, there he is. Da-da-da. And da-da-da. Once again, saving fuel. It works. Blake McCandless, race winner. How we doing?
How we doing, Jacob?
So take us through the strategy there. Of course, you pitted under that last caution when not a lot of people did, and that proved to really be the difference, I think.
Yeah, that pretty much made it happen for us. We probably gained 2 to 3 laps in terms of how far we can make it after pitting there. So that kind of allowed me to run the wall where I was really comfortable running. I think, there's still a lot of speed up there for about 20 laps or so, and just having even a lap fresher tires because even at the beginning of the run, even just having a little bit fresher tires helped, and certainly I got the fuel that I needed. I had .06 gallons when I crossed the start-finish line, and I know everybody else was running on fumes too. So pitting when we did, and then having it actually run green, which I didn't really anticipate, that ended up being the difference for sure.
So now, how hard did you save there in those last 30 laps or so that we had in that race?
I didn't really have to save all that much. I ran the bottom a couple of times because I knew it was going to be close. I was kind of pushing it beyond what I could do to get to the end, but I didn't really, I wasn't clutching. I didn't have to do any of that. I just ran the bottom a couple of laps just to, be out of the throttle a little bit more, and that's pretty much all I had to do. I know everybody else had a really, really hard time because, we were fortunate to pit when we did, and we kind of got a little bit more fuel than everybody to start that run. So we didn't have to save as much, but I know everybody else, especially towards the end there, they were really saving hard. So I guess I'm glad I made a run in practice to see, if I ran the wall, how long I could go, because we basically stretched it to as far as it could go there.
How about race number 2 here coming up? The weather, we'll see how that shifts, if it does at all, as far as the daytime versus the nighttime. Just past 6 o'clock in sim right about now. So I'm curious here, the thoughts going into race number 2.
I hope it's later, because I think that'll make the wall a little bit better. It seems like not everybody wants to run it. They're scared because they think it's going to run the tires out, and fair enough, because I think Jordan was running me down that first run. But there's a lot of speed up there. There's a lot of risk because of these cars and the skew in it, and it's really easy to scrape the right side of the car on there. But I'm pretty much going to do the same thing in the second race. I'm going to go straight out there. Nobody else is running there, and if they want to beat me, join me.
Blake, congratulations on race number 1. Go get him here in race number 2. Try and get the sweep.
All right. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks for everybody who puts core on. It's fun, and we'll try to get us another one here before the night's out.
It's Blake McCandless, his second career core win. He won at Iowa last season. Second place, Cosman on SU. His best finish, I believe, in core with Caleb.
Hello.
Cosman, we saw you try it in turn number 3, going to the inside. Why do you think you didn't have it for Blake in the first race?
I knew that he was going to take the top. I wasn't trying to. I wasn't going to try to slide job or anything. Didn't know if I was going to make it on fuel either. So I could have ran out in middle of 3 and 4, and it wouldn't be very nice for me out of that, because you lose a lot of spots if you're going uphill, running out of fuel. So I just held the bottom and tried to save as much fuel as I could. It actually ran out at the line, so it was perfectly timed. You cannot time that any more perfect. The car started sputtering as I hit the line.
Yeah, as everybody saw there, it did come down to a little bit of fuel strategy there at the end. Do you think we're going to see that again in the second race? And if so, what are your plans to try to combat that?
I don't know. It all depends on how the cautions fall, and how. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It depends when the cautions fall, because otherwise this is a one-stop race regardless. So 50 laps, and we managed to turn it into a fuel mileage race. That's pretty impressive, not gonna lie.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the second place there. You'll start at the tail end of the field for race number 2. Thank you for your time.
Yep, we'll try to do some entertaining stuff back there for the good old Shaq iGear car. So, yeah.
That's Cosman. Awkward silence. All right. How about third place finisher? Sean Butler, former voice of the core, finished third.
I did.
How'd you save it? I know you ran out off turn 2 after the checkered flag, so you were cutting it close. But session is up, by the way. How'd you pull it off?
Well, I realized early in that run that, I had to save that part. I was kind of like, man, is this going to be a fuel mileage race? And then it was. So I don't think Jordan was aware that we had to save, or if he did, he just chose not to. But I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make it to the end here. And hated it. It was just clutching going into the corners. I could have kept up with Jordan, but watching him drive away slowly was aggravating. But when I saw him come in, I'm like, okay, it was worth it. But I ran out actually coming out of 4, and I was just sputtering to the line, and David almost got me coming to the line. So luckily had just enough to get there. But that was fun. That was a entertaining race. It could run everywhere, a lot of strategy involved. So I had a good time.
How about race number 2 here? What are you expecting?
Hopefully it's not a fuel mileage race, but I expect it to be a lot more hectic for us because I think they're inverting the field, so we're starting in the back. So it's gonna be hectic. But we're gonna try to get up through the field. I'll probably try to rip the wall a little bit more this time by than last time. But who knows? Just gonna try to keep the thing clean and put the old windshield deep dodge in core victory lane for the first time.
Well, best of luck here in race number 2. We'll let you get at it and see what you can do here. Maybe go to victory lane for the first time.
Yeah, victory lane for the first time.
That'd be nice. Sean Butler, third place finisher tonight here from Homestead. And the news session is up, so we will step aside, go to a break. We'll let Zach hop on over, and then when we come back, race number 2 from Homestead. Stay with us.
This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
You gon' find yourself someone.
FTF.GG welcomes you to the second half of the Slideways 200 here for Core, presented by SimWrap Market. And, well, once again, Team Rick is the proud sponsor of the Rick Pole Award, given what would be the lowest driver in point standings at each Core League event. Actually, this time it's whoever finished last in round number 1. This time around, Davey Davis, he pitted really late in race number 1. Therefore, he's at the back of the field, and he's your pole sitter for race number 2. Since 2022, Team Rick has awarded less than $0 as part of Core's Pole Award program. This crazy reverse grid is brought to you by the Ben Crazy, providing retro videos in our 2003 and iRacing help on YouTube. I don't know why that ticker says ORN, because that's not us. Anyway, it's Davey Davis and Frozen Toast 24 on the front row. Cisco Scaramuza and Arrow in row number 2. Ryan Burton, Jordan Worth in row number 3. That's Cody H. Gaming and Wes Graham, 7th and 8th. Harry Tiller, Travis Brown, rounding out the top 10 here of race number 2. And all this is, Caleb, an invert of the results from race number 1.
And we'll look back on to row number 6. Landon Huffman, Corey Vervink, Brayton Laster, and Case Kallenbach in row number 7. Drive Through and Rusty Walrus in 15th and 16th. Fly Guy and Justin Malillo in 17th and 18th. Rounding out your top 20, Ian Plash starting 19th, and Justin Champagne in 20th.
And the rest here, Dale Reynolds, Jonathan Cadell, Gabe Wood, Goen, Michael P. Frisch, David Schildenhouse, Sean Butler, Cosmonaut Eshu, and your race 1 winner, Blake McKinless, starting in row number 15, 29th on the grid. Davey Davis and Frozen Toast 24 on the front row here for race number 2. And hope all you Davey Davis fans are happy out there, out here at the front. Just shy of 7 o'clock in Sim. Green flag, 50 more laps here from Homestead. We're green. Oh, there they go. Jordan Worth, Travis Brown in the wall. Off turn 2. Big crash. Oh my gosh. Malillo. Almost a dozen cars are parked on the back straightaway.
Chase Kallenbach. Oh my lord.
Huffman, Malillo with big damage. Michael P. Frisch is involved in that. Kallenbach, as you mentioned. Fly Guy, Gabe Wood, Dale Reynolds, Jonathan Cadell. That's not Gabe Wood. It's a crash fest on the backstretch. Wes Graham involved in this. Travis. The 75. Corey Vervink involved in this. He has a meatball flag. Here you see him on pit road. You'll see the replay here in a moment, and there is a lot for us to sift through here, Caleb. Like Travis Brown always says, it's an onion. Got a lot of layers.
Yeah, I mean, you see it right here. Just fanning out on the restart. Landon Huffman all the way up on the high side. And then you see Jordan Worth just gets loose. There's a car right there because you're 4 wide, and it's on from there. Again, like the first caution we had, where a lot of these guys just stacked up. You can't see in the car in front of you. In front of the car in front of you, rather. And just a parking lot on the backstretch here.
That might be bigger than every single wreck that we had at Daytona last week. Because, I mean, everybody went to the bottom on the brakes, and everybody spun as a result. And that is a lot of cars. Not a lot of damage for the most part. Justin Malillo and Corey Vervink, I think, got the worst end of all of that trouble. Let's see if we can ride on board with some folks here. Here's an onboard with Justin in the FTF.GG machine toward the back of the field, and he's going to have nowhere to go. That gets hit there by the 20 of David Schildenhouse, who almost made it through that entire wreck. Had it to the last spot there when he got into the 53. And now, an onboard, I think, maybe, or is this just another angle? Another angle. Nope, this is an onboard with a black car. Dale Reynolds, I think.
Yeah, it is Dale Reynolds, and you see again just involved in that parking lot.
Well, we're choosing this time. About half the field pitted under this caution flag. Ian Plash let him down. Most of those guys pitting had damage. couple using their faster pairs here. Ian Plash used his. So did Corey Vervinkt, Landon Huffman, Jordan Worth, and Justin Malillo. Davey Davis chooses the inside line here. He will start on the bottom, restart rather, on the restart, and Frozen Toast, who was third, is going to the back. Got the line. So she will start from the tail end. I believe that's the first victim of the choose cone tonight. Choose line, whatever you want to call it. Choose zone.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see here on this restart if we see more guys go to that high line like we saw out of Blake McCandless. I mean, you heard him in his interview. It's really risky for the longevity of your tires and clipping the wall in these ARCA cars, but you saw it pays results off, so.
Pace truck is on pit road, and Davey Davis leads us back to the restart. Green flag, 4 laps complete. Oh man, look at Champagne down at the bottom, 3 wide. Last week's winner swept both races at Daytona. Trying to go back to victory lane tonight, got a little loose. You got Cisco up on the top, they're gonna be 4 wide. Taylor Burris is talking on all teams instead of actually spotting. But we're good. That's the 85 spotter. But I think we got it all straightened out. Oh, Rusty on the apron there, 4 wide again.
Look at Platt, look at
Yikes.
Fieldhouse. They are pack racing here.
They're going to crash racing. Oh, my God, Travis, 5 wide. Oh, and Gabe Wood almost got turned. Rusty backs out of it. And everybody manages. And Burris is still on all teams right now.
Yeah,
He'll get it sorted out eventually.
We know Cisco can hear him at least, so.
Yeah. Brayton Laster's in the wall, losing a ton of time in the little tanks machine down the back stretch.
Travis again. Since it looks like they're sorting it out.
Oh, Sean got the wall that time, and he almost gets turned by Frisch. Oh my, look at McCandless. Oh boy. Oh my. Cisco tried to tell his spotter to get on the right channel, and that almost caused a pileup.
Yeah, usually you don't want to be in the middle of a pack when you do that, especially at a place like Homestead here. Watching Blake still, that high line hasn't quite come in yet for him. He does get the good runoff. Coming up on Cosman, you see Landon Huffman, another one of those guys really trying this high lane. Almost made contact with Ian Plash right there. Plash almost, or no, that's going, excuse me.
These guys are all over the place in this mid-pack. Man, oh man. The sun's going down, but somehow this track is losing grip, it seems like. And these guys are sliding around more than they were earlier. How about Champagne, that was around on board with Cody? He is right now in the 20th position toward the back of the field. Justin Champagne Racing, he is in second right now. He is a-coming.
Yeah, Champagne, after starting in 20th, really on the move. Look at this battle in front of Cody, though. I mean, they're still 4 wide, yeah. Sean Butler all the way to the inside. Just all over each other. Frisch gonna go all the way up to the high line. Cisco backed out of it. And Sean, he was clear at Travis, but didn't want to cut his nose off there. Really good move from Sean. And now backing off in front of Sean, and still just all packed up. Cisco almost made contact with the wall there, but he's going to have a great runoff. Lets off to give Travis some room, though.
Oh my, Sean's going to try it again. This is Cadell we're on board with, 4 wide. With Huffman. Oh my, it worked. Whew.
Yeah, Sean has made a few moves that just awe-inspiring. I mean, how have these guys not wrecked or anything like that? Again, almost with Travis and Jordan Worth there again.
They're trying to wreck.
Yeah, there's been 2 or 3 where they've just been. I mean, I've almost started yelling over here because of how close they've been to wrecking.
More than 11 laps completed here in race number 2. Davey Davis still your race leader, but not for long. Here comes Champagne for the lead, and he's got him. Move that 38 to position number 1 off the corner. And Justin Champagne looking to go 3 for 4 to start the year. Still now try and separate from Davey Davis. Got drive-through sitting in that 3rd spot. Trying to hold off Ryan Burton. Back to the pack.
Yeah, Sean Butler just made a move using that momentum that he had from being up against the wall, made it 3 wide through the middle on Cosman and Jordan Worth, and that benefited him. He did just get loose to the inside of Landon Huffman. He's going to lose a lot of ground now to Cosman Ionescu, who doesn't quite have the real estate he wants, and will have to let off the throttle there, back up this corner. Try it once again off turn number 2.
You would come off 2 down the back stretch. How about this battle for 6th? Ian Plash, Harry Tiller. Just up the road here, and you've got Blake up here. It's a big old pack of cars for 6th on back, slugging it out.
Cosman just made heavy contact with the wall, still in the wall. Just got it sorted out, but losing lots of position. Travis Brown going by him now. Cisco's back in the equation.
Meanwhile, for the lead again, Davey Davis is caught up, and he's going back for the lead. Here in 3 and 4 to the inside. Drives it in deep, gets a little loose. Trying to hang on his quarter panel. Champagne's going to use that top to his advantage and hold on to the lead just for a moment, but Davey Davis is not giving up yet.
Yeah, lots of good pace out of Justin Champagne. I mean, he had lots of good runs last year. At some points just wasn't able to string them together quite like he wanted to, but I mean, he's absolutely just on a tear right now. Swept last week at Daytona, obviously, has the lead in this one, had a good finish, top 10 finish last race. I mean, he's just been absolutely on fire for that 38 machine so far this year.
Speaking of on fire, I think David Schildhouse's rear tires are on fire. He was drifting that thing off corner number 4. You could see those hands turn to the right inside the number 20 machine. And look at this battle here, 5th on back. A lot of good battles all over the racetrack. Ryan Burton trying to hold off Blake McCandless, Ian Plash here. This is for 5th.
Oh, and Davey Davis looking to the outside, going to get loose. Back into the car, almost stepped out on Davey there. But I mean, this invert's just provided so much for this race. I mean, lots of new names up here. Justin Champagne, Davey Davis, drive through. Obviously, David Schildhouse wasn't running top 5 last race, and here he is securely. Blake McCandless trying, but Ryan Burton on the outside of him is just going to get around him.
That shows how important the clean air is to these race cars right now, as your top 4 have kind of bunched up and have started pulling away. They were pretty far from each other, but now they've kind of accordioned together.
And you can see it. Ian Plash just following Blake McCandless. I mean, they know their speed on that high lane. It's just one little misstep and you're going to lose, 2, 3, maybe even 5 positions.
Here comes drive-through for 2nd. Schildhouse for 3rd. Drive-through takes 2nd. Schildhouse going to look for a 2-piece here down the front straightaway. Let's see if he can use that inside line again here in turn 1 as Davey falls back to 4th.
Shieldhouse still to the inside of drive-through. Drive-through really banking on having a good run-off exit here, and he will get it. Probably not as much as he wants, though, as Shieldhouse still has the advantage as they go in. Both of them going to wash up just a little bit from that inside lane, and now Drive-Thru going to slot back into line in front of Davey Davis.
Oh, man. Oh, man. 3 wide back here with Ian Plash, and I thought for sure somebody was going to get hooked into the wall. But they kept it green. Just barely.
And this pack is just lots of fun to watch. I mean, watching Ryan Burton and Blake McCandless up on this outside. I mean, look how close Blake's running to the wall here. And you can see in the middle of the corner, that bottom line definitely preferred. But now, good move by Ian Plash there to block that outside lane and kill off all of their momentum, because Ryan Burton and Blake McCandless, I mean, they were holding it up there, but now they're going to stall.
Justin Malillo is on pit road. Believe this is a scheduled pit stop for him. He was toward the back of the field, but he is one of the first cars that had yet to stop to make his stop. Just want to update something here on the 77 of drive-through. It's been a while since he's gone to victory lane in the core. How long? 3 years ago Monday was his last core win at CTMP. That was back when they were still racing on heat. The race before that was here at Homestead. I'm getting my places mixed up. Was here at Homestead. He also won that race. Those were the last 2 wins that Drive-Thru had in his core career. And he's gotten close before. Martinsville, he was half a lap away. Jonathan Goodell punted him in 3 and 4 and took the win away from him.
Davis just went around on the front stretch.
Caution's out. Davey Davis and Harry Tiller made contact. Everybody avoids, but the caution's thrown since he's sideways in the middle of the front straightaway. And the caution's out now for the second time, and this opens up the window for strategy. 2 laps shy of halfway.
We'll see how this pays off for Justin Malillo, as we just saw him on the pit lane. He's getting his lap back now, but you see it right here. Just Davey Davis.
Oh, we got the wall.
Yeah, slightest bit of contact from that wall. And Harry Tiller, obviously, with nothing he could really do, tried to give him room, just clipped him and sent that 305 car around. You'll get another angle right here on board with Harry Tiller.
Yep.
So, as you said, Jacob, really going to throw a wrench into strategy here for a few guys. We were starting to see that pit window open of scheduled pit stops.
Malillo gets his lap back here, so we're going to get a restart inside 25 to go. They will come to pit road exactly at 25 laps to go, and no surprise, everybody is coming to pit road. By the way, Landon Huffman pitted right before the caution came out. I think we saw him on the screen just for a moment. So potentially, Malillo and Huffman could be your front row, as everybody is making what could be their last stop. Ian Plash missed his box. He had to back up there. You saw that live.
Justin Malillo's actually coming back to pit road.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I figured he might, just depending on how he felt, as Champagne wins the race off pit road, then Shieldhouse, then drive-through. Let's talk with the driver of the 77 here if we can. Maybe. Please. Hello, Discord. Let me drag and scroll. No. God. Here we go. Well, it's been just over 3 years since you've last gone to victory lane. Your penultimate win in core came here at Homestead. Sitting P3 Just under 25 to go. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, you had to remind me it was 3 years ago, huh?
I had to dig to check the date, just so you know. December 12th.
Wow, almost to the date. It's really fun. The car feels great. Oh, I shifted in gear and it pushed to muted. I'm way more comfortable in the car than I thought I'd be, and this racing has been so fun, dude. The first few laps of the first race, we were all going 3-4 wide, the whole pack, scrunching together with all the fast guys coming through. Oh, it's so much fun. I ended up, kind of near the front in the previous race, but then messed up the fuel saving. Somehow it's worked out in this one, though. I like what I'm seeing up here in P3.
Well, I've got bad news. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. That 77 is blinking every now and again. So,
yeah, it's something to do with when I got back into the session. It's not my internet, it's my CPU, and it is unhappy with it. Especially when I get dragged around the Discord. So I think once I'm settled in, we'll be all right.
Weird. Okay, well, I guess we'll see at the end of this deal, and don't forget to all the people your clown reel thing after the broadcast is done.
Yes, sir.
So that's over at twitch.tv/drive-thru-live. Of course, we'll raid you over, so you don't have to leave us. We'll take you right to it, but you're choosing here. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir.
That's drive-thru in the 77. P3 looking to go back to victory lane for the first time in a long 3 years. We're choosing this time. We're going to restart with 22 laps to go.
Yeah, Jacob, you kind of blew my mind there with the drive-through stat of 3 years. I mean, it feels like he has a lot of success here, but then you go and say that he hasn't won even on the iRacing era of core, which is an even crazier stat because feel like we've been doing iRacing for so long at this point. But
he was close. CTMP twice he was close, and of course remember Martinsville in season 3. Like I said, he had that race won on a green-white checker, and Jonathan Cadell punted him in turn 3 and took the win for himself. Hopefully that 77 fixes the blinking issue here before we go back green. And maybe have a fire extinguisher ready for that CPU, because I'm not sure it'll handle these last 22 laps. So Champagne and Schildenhouse on the front row here for the restart. 22 to go, and I have a feeling we haven't seen our last caution yet. But from here, we're borderline on making it to the end on fuel, I do believe. We're in the ballpark. We'll see if everybody can make it without stopping. Green flag, 22 to go.
Champagne with a great launch on that restart. He's going to rocket ahead. That's 2 or 3 car lengths in front of David Schildhouse. And drive-through gets loose, saves it on the white line. Still blinking, though, which is making it hard behind
trouble,
him.
Cadell. It's Cadell around.
Oh, Cosman.
He gets hit. Cosman vervinkt. And the caution is out. Drive-through probably got saved there because Cadell got loose pretty much in the same spot. And Goen got into the back of the 68, it looks like, and turned him sideways. We'll get a replay. And, well, I said I didn't think we were done wrecking. Sure enough, half a lap is all it takes.
Soon. Yeah.
Well, cold tires. Here's the replay. And, DT gets a good start on the bottom. And, he gets loose. It checks up some of the field, but really it's in the back half. It's Jonathan Cadell that gets loose that sets this whole thing off. Then he gets hit by Goen, catches Cisco, and then nowhere for Cosman and Vervinkt to go. We'll get another angle.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just on these restarts. Bound to happen at some point. You can see with Cadell, I think the contact really is what set him off there.
Yep.
Had to blip out of the throttle, and Goen's right behind him, trying to use that momentum out of the high lane and just nowhere to go except in the rear bumper.
On board here. Yep. The runner-up from race 1 tonight, Wham. half a dozen folks pitting here. Cisco, Brayton Laster, Case Kallenbach, Malillo, Cadell, and Cosmin all on pit road. Inside 20 to go, and I believe we'll get the 1 to green next time by. Rather, this time by.
Blake McCandless has found his way into the 3rd position here, and got to think he picks the outside here with this choose cone. Could maybe even see something like we saw in that first race when he was locked behind Jordan Worth and Rusty Walrus, and he made it 3 wide on the top side. Could suspect something like that maybe coming out of the 71 machine, but he does have David Shieldhouse and Champagne, both cars with really good pace so far all weekend.
All righty, lights are out. We are choosing. Drive-through fell to 7th on that restart. Champagne chooses the outside. Shieldhouse chooses the bottom. McCandless to the top. And everybody will shake out Harry Tiller. Oh, no.
They got him.
He didn't even hit the line. He didn't hit the... Brayton Laster got one as well. He didn't hit the line, though. Is it because he stopped?
I believe that's also a stipulation, is you got to maintain pace.
Well, that'll do it. Of course, I don't know why people before didn't get one. Oh, yeah, okay, so for Brayton Laster, he spun it. Oh, no.
Oh, Harry got the spot back.
Ben fudged it. And Harry Tiller gets back in line. Ben, oops, strike 1. Ruling on the field has changed after further review.
Yeah.
The driver did not cross the line.
Harry threw down the red flag.
Harry will not be charged with the timeout. Unbelievable. All right. Well, we'll try it again here. So we're going to restart with 17 to go then. And we'll see how far we make it this time.
Harry got some free burnouts in the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, drive-thru is getting lots of comments on his weekend right now.
Hey, while we're here, I want to run through the sponsors of the Core League. FTF.GG, obviously, bringing us the broadcast every single week. Cody H Gaming, Swan Security, Naughty Wood at NaughtyWoodBarbecue.com. That dude named Dale, Gabe Wood, Team Rick, Ed Soundhead, and of course SimRapMarket.com sponsoring the series. Thank you to each and every one of you. We appreciate it in allowing this series to continue its 5th season. And hopefully season 6 better than ever next year. Although I have to admit, season 5 has been pretty darn good to start this season. 17 to go on the restart. Champagne and Shieldhouse, green flag.
Champagne once again with a really good launch. Shieldhouse didn't get going. Jordan Worth going to make it 3 wide down to the inside. Sean thinking about 4. Not sure that gap's going to be there though. Blake McCandless all the way to the top side. Plash makes it 3 wide
up the middle. Yeah, that was bold, but he makes it work down the back.
Worth going to come down in front of Ian Plash. That's going to stall out his momentum. Plash still going to be in the middle, 3 wide. Little bit of contact between him and Harry Tiller. They're going to keep it straight, get it sorted out.
Making a splash in that 924.
Lots of Ian Plash fans here in chat, I presume. But he right now is going to fall behind Sean Butler and maybe even open the door for Michael P. Frisch.
Meanwhile, Blake McCandless has snuck into second and is looking for the lead. Coming to 15 to go. He's about 3/10 off your race leader in Justin Champagne.
And I imagine Blake McCandless really doesn't want to let Justin Champagne open a gap. If you remember right before the 37 machine had to come down the pit lane.
Oh, Ryan Burton saved it. Nope, that's Laster. No, it is Ryan Burton. He was drifting it through turn 2, but he made it work.
Meanwhile, up at the front, Blake McCandless looks like he's going to have the run on Justin Champagne. We'll see if any crazy blocks or anything come out of it, but they will be side by side for the lead. Blake McCandless sends it into the turn number 1.
Slide job.
Absolutely, but here comes Justin Champagne with the crossover down the backstretch. Champagne has
Trouble.
it.
Hard in the wall. Turn 2. Cisco, Ryan Burton, Brayton Laster. Cisco with the with the overcorrect of the century. Justin Champagne. No, that's Justin Melillo. Wrong Justin. He got in it, just barely scraped the wall. And he thought he was going to die because Cisco took one hard hit. And the caution's out again.
Get a replay right here. Wow, Cisco with a lick into the outside wall.
Took out the 2 pink cars, as well as Melillo. Here's the onboard with Justin. Hang on.
Yeah, you see it.
See.
Riding. Oh, my goodness.
Just got him, and he brushes the fence. Cisco has not used his fast repair. Problem is he had to tow. So he had a long way to go to get to pit road. And oh, my heavens, McCandless pits. Oh, half the top 10 pits. The other half stays out. Strategery here at Homestead. Champagne stays out. Worth, Schildhouse, Plash, Brown, Arrow. Everybody else on pit road. Wow.
And going back to that last caution there, going to try to talk to the driver of the number 53, Justin Melillo.
Oh, hi.
We rode on board with you there. It was kind of a scary sight. Talk us through what happened in that last caution.
I need to know if Cisco's okay. That looked absolutely brutal. The overcorrect that I've been fearing the entire race, and it caught us a little bit in the right rear. We caught the wall there, but I think we're all right. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We haven't been fast at all. We scammed a P12 in the last race, and we'll see if we can scam something better in this one.
Cisco, are you okay? That was a hard hit.
Repeat after me. I have no talent. I have no talent. Yeah, that one. That wasn't fun. That wasn't a fun one on the old direct drive.
What happened? Just snap oversteer or?
Yeah, snap oversteer because I have no talent. Come on. It's not a plate track. I have no chance.
Well, that's a good thing we're going to Daytona next week then, huh?
Yeah, no, trust me, this is going to help the fact that we have all these plate tracks, but no, I'm all right. Just, yeah, we're going to need the, I don't think I'll need the ice pack, but, yeah, I'm not sleeping on my wrist tonight, that's for sure.
Well, glad you're okay, buddy.
Are you all right, JM?
That scared the ever-living you-know-what's out of me, man.
Yeah, that figures. That figures.
Well, gentlemen, Cisco, hope you get back out there. Justin, best of luck the rest of the way here. We'll see you all at the end of this deal.
Gotcha.
Thanks, boys.
That's Justin Melillo and Cisco Scaramuza, who, had a rough go of it there in the last couple of moments. Going to have 10 to go here on the restart. You've got some guys on new tires, some guys on slightly older tires, and this is as good a time as ever for another big one. Smash 'em up style coming off turn number 2 if we get that far. Remember, old tires for your top 4, plus Travis and Arrow. Everybody else on freshies. It's Champagne, rather, and Worth. Green flag, 10 to go.
Champagne, the control card, jumps out once again into turn number 1. Jordan Worth with sole possession of P2. As soon as I say that, Ian Plash gonna make a splash go down to the inside of Jordan Worth. That outside lane and their momentum proves to be too strong as of right now. We'll see if he can get him here in turns number 3 and 4.
Case Kalabach drifted off the corner, keeps it on the apron. We stay green. First car on fresh tires is Sean Butler in that 32 on the high side. Go, brother Gabe Wood, what a save.
Sean Butler to the outside of Travis Brown.
Oh, and now he gets turned. Cadell and Gabe Wood made contact, and it was drive-through blinking that caused that. And the cautions back out. Cautions breed cautions here at Homestead. And Cadell says, I was reacting to the car 50 feet in the air. You may not see it, but I believe it.
Yeah, that was starting to hear frustration about the blinking on at that point. Gabe Wood, the big save that you were talking about, Jacob, but 4 wide like that. And yeah, you can see him start blinking right here, and that's when you're 4 wide like that, you just can't have it. And Cadell gets into the back quarter of Gabe Wood, sends him around.
Now you see him, now you don't. And lucky that all everybody did was spin. No actual contact with the wall or significant contact with anybody else. So Cisco gets the free pass here. We will get a restart around 5 laps to go, and I think Ben might make DT here drop to the back because of the connection issues. So looks like the wind drought will continue for the Canadian.
Yeah, just a really tough break for drive-through here at Homestead. Obviously, a few seasons ago got a win here, but last year, if you remember back, started on pole, spun into turn 1, and never really regrouped after that. And here tonight, going to be some internal issues that are going to keep him out of the race for the win. He did have some pace, but really unfortunate for DT there. So that's us back up with lots of interesting names here in this top 5. Obviously, Champagne has just had a grip on the field this entire race. Jordan Worth has had speed both races, so I'm sure he'll be able to challenge Justin Champagne here. Ian Plash has made his face known now. David Shieldhouse has been consistently up here. Travis Brown has worked his way back up to 5th position right now, but I mean, there are lots of guys who are up here who aren't afraid to make some big moves, and as we come down inside 10 laps to go, I'm really excited for this restart to see what kind of stuff we'll see, especially with some of these cautions. Shouldn't be a fuel strategy race like last time.
And what's interesting here is the fact that you have the top 5 that all stayed out under these last 2 cautions, and then everybody else, with the exception of Aero, who did pit under that last caution and are all on, for the most part, fresh tires. Landon Huffman took 2 tires under that last caution flag. Everybody else took 4. Huffman sits P9, the first car on freshies. Sean Butler in the 32. We're choosing Champagne outside, Worth inside, then Plash. Where does Showhouse go? He goes to the bottom. Travis Brown to the top. So first car on 4 fresh tires will restart 3rd on the inside line in Sean Butler. A reminder of what's coming up on ftf.gg. The only thing I know off the top of my head, because I wasn't given anything to read, it's this next week from Smooth Daytona. Again, 2 40-lap races. There's also Legends of the Future. That's tomorrow at 8:45 Eastern at Richmond, I think. No, Bristol. Oh, I was close. The Autobahn Series is back on Monday, 9:15 from Indianapolis. And then, as I mentioned, we're back with Core a week from tonight. Again, staying in Daytona, the last race before the holidays. That is at New Daytona. Should be fun. 5 to go. Green flag. Oh, and Travis did not get going. That outside line stacked up as a result. Champagne able to scoot away.
Shieldhouse made a big move on Jordan Worth there to the inside of him for the 2nd position. Ian Plash looking for some place to stick his nose. Not going to find it, though. That outside lane and the momentum going to carry
Harry!
into P2 and
Saved it.
What a
He
move
got
from
turned.
Harry.
He got turned trying to block Landon Huffman, and Huffman said no thank you. That also got a piece of Frisch. Everybody holds on for now. 4 laps to go. Champagne trying to scoot away. Worth out in front in second. Schildhouse in third. First car on 4 tires is Sean. He's in 5th.
Big cluster of cars here for the second position.
Trouble. Saved
wide.
it. Back of the field. That's Gabe Wood again. Still green. 3 wide for second.
Coming to 3 laps to go here. David Schildhouse going to put the rear end of his car in front of Ian Plash's nose. Sean Butler now going to have some room to operate. Into turn number 1. Here comes Sean.
Looking to the inside. Champagne's got a lead of almost a half second over David Schildhouse. Schildhouse is going to have to run the 3 best laps of his life. If Sean Butler can't get by, he's stuck on the bottom, though he doesn't have the ability to jump up to the high side. Coming to 2 laps to go. It's still all that 38 out in front of this field. Here comes McCandless, 3 wide up on the top, trying to make something work there.
And I don't know about these guys. I mean, they're all scrambling for the second position right now, and that's all that's going to do is allow Champagne here to just keep pulling away, running consistent laps. And he absolutely wants to see these guys get up side by side next to David Schildhouse and try to make some noise.
And second on back is hoping somebody gets upside down here in this next half a lap. Otherwise, this race is official. Schildhouse drives it in deep into 3, trying to stay out in front of Sean. Sean to the back bumper. Almost makes contact. This is it. Last lap for Justin Champagne, trying to go 3 for 4. Schildhouse blocking, defensive line to turn number 1. McCandless in the wall keeps it straight.
Sean with a big move to the outside lane, gets the car stepping out. Schildhouse going to be able to merge right in front of him, but he doesn't. Sean Butler turns David Schildhouse for the second position, and now there's more contact behind him with Ian Plash and Jordan Worth.
Here they come through 3 and 4. It's all Justin Champagne. 3 for 4. How good does that sound? The 38 going to victory lane again. He wins race number 2 of the Slideways 200 from Homestead.
Oh, and Landon after the finish there. Big hit from him. But what a great run from Justin Champagne. I mean, as you said, 3 of 4 so far. Swept last week at Daytona. Had a top 10 in the first race tonight with Blake McCandless winning. And now Champagne comes out here once again with another W to add to his collection this year so far. And we're only in the second night of core.
Helping pad that lead that he has in the points. Of course, second place Chase Cabry. He's not here. So that's going to allow him to drop. Of course, he does have a drop that he can use. Everybody has a drop that they can use. So Champagne right now, he's dropping 1, and it's his win right now, or one of his wins. They have a round that they can drop, not necessarily a race that they can drop, but Champagne with another fantastic race. Coming away with a win here in race number 2. Sean Butler finishes in second. Blake McCandless finishes in third. Jordan Worth 4th. Ian Plash 5th. And Michael P. Frisch, Landon Huffman, Goen, Travis Brown, Arrow rounding out your top 10 in race number 2.
Drive-through battles some connection issues. Comes home in the 11th position. Harry Tiller as well comes home in 12th. Wes Graham finishes 13th tonight. Frozen Toes 14th. Jonathan Cadell comes home 15th. Justin Malillo in 16th. Davey Davis 17th. Cody H. Gaming in 18th. Dale Reynolds in 19th. And Cosmin Ionescu rounds out your top 20, Jacob.
We are not scrolling. There we go. 21st, Ryan Burton. Brayton Laster, 22nd. Rusty, 23rd. Then Cisco, Fly Guy, Corey Vervinkt, Gabe Wood, Case Kallenbach, and David Schildhouse goes from second to last on the last lap after the contact with Sean Butler. Let's talk with your race winner once again. Justin Champagne, 3 for 4 to start the season, extending the points lead.
Sir.
How about that? Take us through those last couple laps.
Yeah, they were stressful. I had to nail the restarts. and I knew if I could just nail him, hopefully I gap, far enough to the field, the fresh tires. I was scared they were going to come up and contend for the win, but like I said, all I needed to do was get good restarts, and yeah, we did it. It's got to be that Don Julio paint scheme getting me these W's, but I can't believe it, man. 3 wins already. Let's go.
Looking ahead to next week at Daytona, it's the smooth version of Daytona, the updated Daytona. So once again, we're at the plate track, a little bit different than what we saw last week. Your thoughts going into next week?
I still think the top side is going to be the preferred lane, exiting the corners, but who knows? It's probably going to be 4 wide. You never know because it's smoother. You have more grip. You could be more aggressive and challenging. So I don't know. It's going to be a great race, though. I can't wait for it.
Congratulations on the race win.
Thank you.
Third one to start the year, and I was wrong. I forgot you won Atlanta at the end of last season. So this is your 4th official core win, 3rd on the season, and best of luck next week from Daytona.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
That's Justin Champagne, your race winner tonight from Homestead in race number 2. And we'll continue with the interviews here, sponsored by Dale Reynolds. Sean Butler, 2nd place with Caleb.
Sean, 2nd place tonight after some last lap contact there with David Shieldhouse. Talk us through that last lap there from your point of view.
Yeah, definitely not how I wanted to get it, but I was on the fresh tires and I was kind of boxed in with Ian and David there for like 4 out of the last 5 laps, and I was finally able to kind of throw it into one and kind of get clear of them. And I had a huge run coming off the corner, and I didn't know what David was going to do. It looked like just off the corner he was going to give me a little room there, but I guess he didn't, and I just barely got into him. And with these cars, that's a little contact is enough to just kind of send someone around. So I would probably put that one on me for sure. But I don't know. It's just racing at the end there. Definitely not how I wanted to get to 2nd. So apologies to David, out there. But that was a fun race, though. All the lanes were working. A little strategy came in to it at the end there. So I won't be happy with this 2nd place finish, but I got to accept it. So overall, though, it was a fun race.
And looking forward next week to Daytona once again, this time the smooth Daytona. How do you feel about your chances there?
Well, I'm pretty sure the super speedway, everybody's got the same amount of chances to win, especially at old Daytona in these cars. It should be a crazy race, though. I mean, if for the avid moon car watchers in the audience tonight, these cars at Daytona put on a big pack race. It's a little bit of a log jam in that, but it's going to be a race to see who can get to the middle and just kind of hold it there. But I don't know, anybody can win that. So as long as I just kind of dodge the wrecks next week and keep it in one piece and be there at the end, should be all right.
Well, congratulations coming home 2nd tonight, and we'll see you next week at Daytona.
Thank you, boys. Good job on the broadcast as always.
That's Sean Butler in the 32. Back to you, Jacob.
I'm not going crazy, right? Sean ran last week too?
Yeah.
Okay, well then the points are wrong.
Uh-oh.
Because Sean ran both races, and right now points show him 30th with only 1 start. So,
yeah, we'll get that ironed out either way.
So, that's a later deal. If you want to break down to the points right now, I'll just do it verbally. Your top 5. It's Champagne, Frisch, Plash, Goen, McCandless. So, there you go. That's your top 5. Davin is 6th, 1 point behind McCandless. So, yeah. 3rd place finisher was Blake, and he's definitely okay. 4th, Jordan not here. Ian. Ian's here. Let's talk with Ian. Ian finished 5th tonight, and he's the first readily available driver. So let's talk with our 5th place finisher, Ian Plash. You had a busy night out there.
I'm sweating. Dude, the 11th and the 5th is not exactly the places that I would want, all things considered. But, I'll take the 5th considering everyone, their mother was on the freshies behind us there at the end. But just all in all, like a huge tip of the hat to Sean, Jordan, David at the end, like just the way we were just on top of each other, lap after lap, literally leaning on each other, sideways out of every corner. Like it doesn't get better than that. I love the core. This is so much fun.
Looking ahead, we've got next week from Daytona again, the smooth version this time, and you've had some pretty good success with play tracks here in core so far, obviously with your Team Rick teammates. What's it going to take for you to get to victory lane, or one of your teammates to get to victory lane? Team Rick has not won a race yet in core.
We're getting close. I feel like the time will come. We got the Glen. I know Keenan's pretty good there. He's a very good road racer in these things, so that's probably going to be his best shot outside of like Daytona, Talladega. What's it going to take to win Daytona? 3 wide, go to the top, rip it, and pray you don't get walled. I think it's just the way it's going to be. You saw how crazy it was when it was bumpy. Picture that, but everyone has better control of their cars. I mean, I'd be almost willing to say you're going to see people pushing at 4 and getting away with it every once in a while on that one, too. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait for next week.
Well, can't wait to see you then. Can't wait to see the race then. So we'll let you go. Congrats on the top 5, and we'll see you from Daytona next week.
Thank you very much, Emmy Award-winning Jacob Hitz.
That's 5th place finisher Ian Plash tonight. I appreciate that little drop in there. That was finishing interviews brought to you by that dude named Dale. Classic NASCAR gaming done right. The points are fixed. As you can see, Sean Butler now 4th in points, so that bumps everybody 5th on back. Down 1, so Goen is 5th, McCandless 6th, Davin 7th, Harry Tiller 8th. That's Cosman 9th, and Travis Brown in 10th. Final thoughts, Caleb from Homestead.
Well, there was no shortage of action tonight. I mean, we had 3-4 wide racing at points. You were able to run anywhere you wanted. We saw some fuel strategy out of that first race, and then just a good old finish for the second one. I mean, just lots of fun. It's exactly what you want out of core, and got to commend Justin Champagne on just what a run so far. Out of 4 races we've ran, and he's swept 1 round and got a win and finished 10th in the other. So, I mean, just a great run from him. Looking forward to see what he can do going into smooth Daytona next week.
There you have it. Smooth Daytona it is, a week from tonight. 9 o'clock Eastern here on FTF.GG. Hey, we're not done yet. We're going to go raid Drive-Thru's channel. He's going to take us through all the incidents from tonight. And believe me, there are a lot of them. The Clown Reel coming your way next for our producer, Zach Johnson. For Caleb Hoffman, alongside me, I'm Jacob Hitz. For all of our sponsors, FTF.GG, Cody H Gaming, Swan Security, Naughty Wood at NaughtyWoodBarbecue.com, That Dude Named Dale, Gabe Wood, Team Rick, Ed Soundhead, and SimRapMarket.com. So long from Homestead. We'll see you next week.